What is going on YouTube? Jay here from Maji and Jay. Today we are reviewing and of course doing here the unboxing of a very nice drone for only $120 after a coupon that they currently have available. I got this with Amazon with the Prime service, so it got here very quickly. It usually takes about 2 days when I order from Amazon with the Prime service in the USA. And this one is known as the Mark 300, but in this case I got it as the 4D RCM1 drone, and it is very interesting. This is a 4K drone at a price of only $120. It comes with brushless motors. It has follow me mode, you name it. It has gestures to take pictures. You can do gestures to activate the camera, and on here we can see the picture of the transmitter. There's an app available that you can use with Android or iPhone as well. And on the back here we can see the drone, that it is a foldable one. On this side it is open, on the back side has been folded, and here we have a whole bunch of legal stuff that they need to include on the box. And this is recommended for ages 14 plus, so it comes in a box like this where a whole bunch of dividers inside, and they're asking you for your feedback, and in return you can qualify for a second battery, which is really cool. So here comes the drone itself, and I gotta say that without the battery it is pretty light, and that gives you the it gives you that feeling that this is a cheap product, you know, because again it doesn't have a lot of weight to it. There's a big compartment in there for the battery, maybe that has to do with it. It does come with brushless motors, which is cool, and we have some LED lights here by the arms. So the front ones are going to be in blue color, the back ones are going to be in red color. It comes with some sensors like the landing sensor right here. So when you're about to either you do the return to home or just a regular landing, it's just not going to drop. It'll detect and see if the surface is safe, and then it'll fully land. Really cool. And if you guys haven't noticed, I know that aside from the arms, this looks a little bit like the Inspire 1. I mean, at least the design here on the top, I will call it the head part of it. It looks very similar. It comes again with a 4K camera, but you need to attach it. We're going to be talking about that here in just a second. The next thing we have is the the battery here. So this is a 4000 11.1 volt battery. And impressive enough, it has the ability to last up to 25 minutes. On my testings, they are advertising it as 30 minutes, but no, it is about 25 minutes approximately. One recording, and I was recording in 4K resolution. So yes, you know, the battery does last a very long time, and it uses the standard USB charging port right here. We have the connectors, the pins that connect to the drone. This is a clip-on, and it has a smart indicator right here, as you guys can see. The power key is also located on there, and it has some clips on the side. This is how you would remove the battery from the drone. Okay, and it only comes with one, so if you guys do that survey or that feedback thing, you might get another battery. So anyways, inside of this little bag we have the USB cables. Now one of them is for the transmitter, and it has a little LED light in here that turns red when it's charging, and when the transmitter itself is fully charged, then it'll turn off. So this is very important because the transmitter itself doesn't have a charging indicator. It does have a battery indicator, but for some reason they didn't make it so that it tells you if it's charged directly from the transmitter. It's a very weird thing. But talking about the transmitter, here it is, and you have this little regular USB port on the side, and that's what you would connect this, and you can connect the other end, which is this, to any 5-volt outlet. So any smartphone charger should work fine. And here we have the transmitter, very similar to DJI, in my opinion. So we have here the auto return home. We have the turn on switch. This is the battery indicator, but again, it doesn't work when you are charging it. And it's very lightweight. It comes with a 300 milliamp battery, and I believe this is a 3.7 volt battery. Let's see back here. Yes, it is a 3.7 volt. And again, it charges with a 5-volt wall outlet, which is really cool. And of course, it is made in China. Here we can see that they call it the Mark 300. but I guess it has been rebranded. And so yes, on the front here, this is a calibration button, which is really nice. We have the auto button. I believe this is for GPS mode, and you can also take it out of GPS mode as well by pressing this. It has auto takeoff, so if the motors are activated, you can just press this button and it'll take off for you. Then we have here orbit mode. Okay, you can set up this directly from the app on the maps, or you can just press this button and it'll start orbiting up to a certain distance around you, which is really cool. On the top here, we have a recording button. This is a photo button, and then this little wheel is for the camera, so it goes up and down. It doesn't have a gimbal. It just again goes up and down, so the stabilization is not going to be the best. I can tell you that right off the bat. This wheel here doesn't do anything, and the antennas are just there for the looks. They don't have a wire running through them, so the antenna is actually this little wire sticking out. It doesn't look very professional, and it doesn't look like a finished product. It looks like there's a wire just sticking out there, but that's the actual antenna. These are just there again for the looks. We got here little grips, okay, so that it gives you a little bit more comfort when you're holding it on your hands. And it has the phone mount here. Now honestly, this is very limited. I don't think you can fit a Note device here, a Galaxy, let's say Note 8 or 9 or even the 10. If it's a very wide phone, you're not going to be able to fit it, but I was able to fit here my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it fitted almost to perfection. I do have a case installed. That's another thing, that if it doesn't fit for some reason, you can try it without the case. It does have some like rubber pads on the inner side of it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it won't scratch your phone, and that's definitely great. When you turn it on, it's going to give you here a couple things. You have the GPS signal. You have let's see, the satellite that is currently locking in place. You have the transmitter battery, which is the one on top, and the drone battery, but right now it says 0. I don't know if you guys can see that because we're not paired yet. This is your battery indicator here. Let's see what else. We have the distance in meters. This is for the height, and this is for the distance from you, which is really cool. And we have mode here, and that's pretty much it, guys. So the transmitters, again, really easy to use. We got here the little levers to, of course, fly the drone. Very simple, very similar to what we have seen in the past. Now this definitely feels very, very light. It feels like it's really, really cheap, but it works, guys. And they are also promising that this has a flying distance of about 3,000 meters. I wouldn't risk it. Myself, on the testing that you guys are about to see, I did less than 100 meters just to be on the safe side. I didn't want this thing to just get lost. I wanted to complete the video successfully. Let's see what else we have inside of the box. We have the propellers. We have some spare ones. Let's see what else. We have the camera. Check it out. So the camera has a little fake sensor here. This is not a true sensor. On the front here, we had the 4K. I believe this is an 8 or 12 megapixel. I can't recall, but I know that it does record in 4K resolution. It's really lightweight as well, and it has a little SD card slot here on the side, and you can enter up to 128 gigs. Right now I have a 32 gig on here, and it snaps on the front side of the drone like so. So all you have to do is make sure this the front of the camera, of course, is pointing out, and then it slides right in like so. And to remove it, you need to press this little button here and then pull it off, and it comes right off. We have just two red LED lights. They're just there, I guess, for the looks. They don't really tell you anything according to battery or anything of that nature. So there we have it, guys, for what comes inside of the box. So let's go ahead and set it aside. And the next thing I'm going to show you here is how to set this properly. So the first thing you must do is stretch the arms. You're going to start with the bottom ones first. So you're going to do this, and then you're going to come to the other side, and you're going to open this one like so. Then you're going to do the upper ones, and the last thing you need to do is open the legs on each arm like so. These are the landing legs, I call them. So you're going to do just this. Really simple. all the way around, and voila, you have already pre-set up your drone. Okay, so now after this, all you want to do is go ahead and make sure that your battery is fully charged. What you do now is connect it on the back side. Again, there are some pins here. Make sure that they match. Just push it in like so. And now to set it up is super simple. All you want to do is start by turning on your transmitter. In this case, we have it on already. Make sure that your transmitter is also fully charged. It'll tell you right here what's your battery, and I am at 100%. Now the next thing you want to do is turn on your drone. So just hold and press it for about 3 seconds, and you're gonna hear that beep, and that means that right now we are turned on. So to pair it, all we got to do, or to bond, what they call it, to bond the transmitter with the drone, make sure that you lift these up, and you're gonna hear that beep, and now the lights are no longer blinking. So I'm going to try to do this hopefully in a safe manner. Well, they are blinking now, but it does it after you have bonded. So to make sure that they connected successfully, to activate the motors, you want to move these two to the side like so, and boom. To deactivate it, you want to do the same thing. Just move them downwards towards the sides, and it's going to deactivate. Now, before you take off, it is always recommended that you do the calibration. To do so, it is super simple. This is what I was mentioning before, that all you need to do is press this button here, and now the lights are going to blink like very quickly. That means that you have to rotate it clockwise 3 times like this until you hear a beep. Okay, now this means that you have to turn it upwards like so, and do the same thing clockwise. You're going to turn it about 3 times, and you know when it's done because the lights are going to turn solid, and then they're going to start blinking again, and that's an indication that you have successfully calibrated your drone. So the next thing you have to do is go here to your smartphone, and you're going to go to first of all the Play Store, and you're going to search for this application. It is called VS GPS Pro. Once you download it, now you go here into your Wi-Fi settings, and you're going to go ahead and connect to the one which is coming here in a second. It is called VS GPS 4K. Just connect to it, and after doing so, you're going to go back to that application which I mentioned before, the VS GPS Pro. Just open it, and now you're going to click on enter device. Okay, and there we go. It has already connected. So on here we have a couple things going on the very top part here. It'll tell you, in this case it's even telling me that it is indoor right now, so it's not going to lock to any GPS signal as of right now. But normally it will tell you here GPS mode, and then right about here it'll tell you how many satellites it has locked, and of course it's going to tell you the signal between the transmitter and the drone itself. Right now it's at 100%. Then here we have other modes. You can do the horizontal calibration or the compass calibration as well. You can do it directly from the application. You have auto return home. Here you can set up points of interest as well. You can do it by opening the map. It's really easy to do. We have seen this on almost every other drone that has been out there in the market. We have here home, which takes you back to the main page. And here on the right side, we have this little toggle or switch where right now it's in photo mode. If you click it again, it'll go into recording mode, and you will know it because the shutter button turns red. That is recording mode, and you can also enable the microphone as you are recording. So if you plan to do like a, I don't know, like a vlog or something, and as you're flying you want to speak or whatever the case may be, you can do so by enabling here the microphone, and that's just going to enable the microphone on your smartphone and not the drone itself. Keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it, guys. Very easy to use. And here I'm going to demonstrate real quick that you can fit an iPhone 11 Pro Max with the case. Of course it barely fits, but you guys get the idea. There we have it, and it feels secure. It doesn't feel like the phone is gonna drop or whatever. You don't need the application in order to fly this thing. So there we have it, guys. Again, very easy to use. Now we're gonna go to the park, check it out, and let me know what you think. The camera here is recording in 4K resolution. Unfortunately, this video, or not unfortunately, but well, in this particular video, we are downscaled to 1080p, 60 frames per second. So right now we have about 14 satellites. Actually went down to 13 satellites available. And if you look at the drone, it is super stable. This is something I like. And here on the app, I'm gonna go ahead and you have to click on that icon on the top. Right now it's in photo mode. If you click it again, it goes into recording mode, and that's when we're gonna start recording, which is right now. And you can't deny this thing is perfect when it comes to GPS positioning. In terms of the camera, it could have been better. I mean, yeah, it definitely could have been better, but keep in mind that this is only a $120 drone, and I am quite impressed with the overall quality of it. Here, using that wheel on the upper side of the remote behind your smartphone in this case, they can move the camera up and down. So right now it's in its highest position, so it'll start beeping when it moves until you reach the maximum. It'll give you a long beep. That's how you know you cannot go any higher than that. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and start doing a distance test here with the FPV, and we're gonna see how far it can go before it starts getting choppy. Now I would recommend that you guys use that SD card all the time, just in the event that you are recording. The transmission between your smartphone and the drone can get cut off, and that's how the video is going to be recorded. But when you have the SD card, everything gets recorded normally, even if you lose signal with your FPV. So hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. Right now here I am at about, it says height 53 meters, distance 44 meters. But it has way more capacity. I just don't want to go too far. Sometimes I get a little scared. It is not fully legal to fly at this distance between houses, but if something happens, this is still made in China, so we got to be careful. It is a really good drone so far. I haven't had any major scary moments with the drone, but you still got to be cautious unless you're flying this at a very open area. And that's when you can, just let it go. The follow me mode, those features, they do work. The return to home feature, thanks to the accurate GPS and the stability of it, it comes exactly where it landed. Sometimes, like many of the drones, you get like 3 or 4 feet of play when it lands. But for the most part, it does a really, really good job. And even when you check on the reviews on Amazon, you can actually see that people are very satisfied with this drone. That's why I decided to bring it here to the channel. Again, it is known also as the Mark 300. So here you guys can see my neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in Florida. A lot of people are avoiding the public places just because of that coronavirus. It is a scary phenomenon, but it was just too nice out to ignore it. So right now here we have a distance of 80 meters approximately. We're gonna keep it right below 100 meters, just again to be in the safe side. Let's see here. Right now we are straight up. Let me see if I can move that camera down. Hello buddy, how you doing? All right, there we go. It is pointing straight down. Camera's really good. The stability could have been better. Doesn't have what we call the gimbal, or the 3-axis gimbal. This is just a electronic moving camera. But again, it doesn't have any type of stabilization except for software. It tries, but it still looks a little wobbly. Let's go ahead and try that return to home now. Let's see, we're gonna do the auto return home, and we just started. You can see it here from the recording that I'm not touching the transmitter, but I'm right next to a tree, so I might suspend it depending on how close it gets to the tree. Right now at this angle, it seems like the tree is on its way. Like I said before, it has play, or yeah, we'll call it a play of about 4 to 5 feet. But right now it is positioning before landing, and I think it's now coming down. It doesn't seem like the tree's on it. It's on the way. I hope not. And so we're getting close here. It's very interesting. Again, I'm not controlling anything. And there it is. Now he's thinking, well, yeah, I didn't take off on the sand, but hey, that was pretty close. It was probably, again, like 3 or 4 feet away from where I took from. That's a really impressive feature here. So there you have it, guys, for the flight test. Let me know down below what you guys think about this little machine, and I'll see you soon. Well, guys, there we have it for the testing here of the 4D RC M1 drone. It is definitely recommended, especially at this price point. It's one of the best out there. I know that, well, the recording quality could improve. It doesn't have the best stabilization out there, but I think a lot of it is because this is not a true gimbal. This is just a camera that has been fixed on there, and it can move upwards or downwards, and that's pretty much it. For that reason, you don't have better recording quality. But yes, it is a true 4K camera. Again, doesn't have the best quality out there, but this drone will definitely give you a lot of confidence in terms of the flight. It flies very nice and smooth. There's no glitches. There's no what I call scary moments. When flying this drone, it doesn't take off by itself. It doesn't have, you know, flying stability problems. It is a very stable drone. It locks the GPS very, very nicely. And when you saw the auto return to home feature, it worked great. There's usually about 3 or 4 feet of play, meaning that it could vary a little bit. So make sure that when you take off, it is an open area and that you don't have objects like I did. I had a tree, I had you know, I was at a park, so I had certain objects on my way. Make sure that that doesn't happen. Make sure that you fly this at an open area and you will be okay. With this being said, let me know down below what you guys think about this drone. Would you buy it? Would you pass on it? Or do you want me to bring something a little bit better even if the price is higher? Well, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll be back with more very shortly. See you in the next one.